Alrighty. We are back. Back with some more Pokemon Run and Bun here. Continuing off from last night, going through the rest of round 120 at the start of the Tantalizer split. I don't have that. I don't have a lot of time to stream today, but I wanted to get these next few fights done because I probably won't be able to get to stream for the next couple days. So I wanted to get this done before I have to go to work because there's 3 more fights left until the next route, which we get a new encounter and our last batch of citrus berries, which I really would like to get done. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into this. This first fight is a pretty notoriously difficult fight because of the Zoroark and the Moody Glalie, which has also Protect, which is can be very tricky to work around. But I think we have a plan that's pretty much riskless. So yeah, this is definitely the hardest. After this, there's 2 more fights, and then we get our encounter. So, yeah, let me just triple check that I did everything, capped everything correctly here. Yeah, this should all be correct. So, a little nervous because I did make a mistake my last time doing this fight. So, but we should be fine this time around. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this here. Alright, so Ninja Boy Keigo. Very notorious fight. Because he has 3 Mons with Explosion and a bunch of other tricky stuff here. So right now, this Licky Licky, it does have Explosion. So what I'm going to do first, it also holds a Chople Berry to reduce fighting type damage, which makes this thing very difficult to knock out. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to Volt Switch to do some chip with my Galvantula, and a pre-damage so that the Licky Licky will always go for Body Slam. So we'll start with that. And we're going to switch to my Delmise, which is immune to the incoming Body Slam. Perfect. Alright, so now it can't explode since I'm a ghost type. So it's just going to go for its highest damaging move, which is Knockoff. So I'm going to hit it again with Anchor Shot to do a little bit more chip as it goes for a knockoff here. Alright. So now it's going to go for another knockoff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to my Golisopod, who's pre-damaged, to always proc Emergency Exit, to then swap to my Obstagoon. Okay, so there's knockoff. Critical hit, perfectly fine. We Emergency Exit to bring in Obstagoon. And this allows us to bring it in without taking any damage. And with that pre-damage, those hits on the Licky Licky, Facade can now always one-shot from here. Alright, so Licky Licky goes down. Take a little bit of burn. It's accounted for. Alright, so this looks like a Glalie, but it's not Glalie. It is a Zoroark. Common thing that has tripped up other runners of this game. It's Zoroark, and it's guaranteed to go for KO with Aura Sphere. So knowing that, I'm going to swap to my Sneasler, who is pretty pre-damaged, but we should be perfectly fine. Aura Sphere won't deal that much to my Sneasler here. Yep, so there's an Aura Sphere. Alright. So now we can outspeed and one-shot with close combat. And the pre-damaging here is very important, as I'll explain in a second. Critical hit didn't matter, obviously, because it's a Zoroark. Alright, so this will now bring in Cursola. And this thing is a huge pain because it also has Explosion. And it has a Custap Berry with Endure. And it has Perish Body. Which means if you KO it with a contact move, it'll activate Perish Song on whoever KO'd it. I didn't really have a clean way to not proc that here. So I'm just gonna let it happen, but we should be perfectly fine. Because I'm pre-damaged, the Cursola always is a KO with either Shadow Ball or Hydro Pump, so it won't go for Protect. So I could just, well, it won't go for Endure. So I could just simply outspeed and one-shot with Knockoff. So Cursola goes down. This will activate Perish Body. Oh, it didn't. Oh. Oh yeah, I guess it's not a guaranteed. Oh, well that makes it super easy. Even if Perish Body had procced, we would have been perfectly fine because this is the real problem. This Glalie has Moody, which after every turn randomly increases and decreases one of its stats, which can be very difficult to work around. And it has Protect. However, after the first close combat that I used on the Zoroark, at this HP with -1 SPDEF, the Glalie should always see a KO with Freeze Dry. So it can't use Protect. It has to use Freeze Dry, but I outspeed it, and I could just simply one-shot with close combat. So we shouldn't see a Protect here. I should just be able to just one-shot it. Yep, perfect. And another critical hit, wow. His knees are relaxed, it's fine. Alright, cool. So again, pretty complicated fight, but we had a good plan for it. If for whatever reason it did go for Protect, I just brought my Paparage as a backup. But I'm well aware of the scoring system in this game now for how the AI chooses its moves. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just go and do the next couple fights here. So, the next fight we have here shouldn't be as tricky. Ninja Boy Riley. So I already kind of looked at it a little bit, and we should have a good game plan for this. so I think the idea here was... lead Electro to one-shot the Greninja. To then bait... to bait X-Scissor from Durant. Volt switch into Infernape. We'll break the sash, KO with Overheat, bait Earthquake, equip the Shed Shell, to swap out of Arena Trap. To pivot through Golisopod to bring in Sneasler. And then I could KO with Close Combat, followed by a Close Combat on the Bisharp. And even at -1 defense, I'll always survive one Sucker Punch crit. Yeah, so this game plan should look good here. The Duck Trio does have Final Gambit and Memento, but they should always go for Earthquake since it sees a fast KO with it. Yeah, and then again, Close Combat. Close Combat. Alright, good. Let's go ahead and set that up here. Let's see, put Copperasha back where it belongs. Let's see, we want Electrode. We want Infernape. We want Golisopod and Sneasler. And then I'll bring Fly Score as a backup, I guess, so that I could fly. Alright, so we need for items. Electrode needs a Miracle Seed. Yeah, Miracle Seed. So let's get that here. Give that to Infernape. Alright. Just a Cat Lover, welcome. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate the sub. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate the support. Yeah, so then... yeah, Volt Switch. Infernape doesn't need an item. Oh no, it does, it needs... Shed Shell. Let's see. So Shed Shell on Infernate. Let's see, we need... Golisopod at... Golisopod to be at 142 HP. Damage 142. Good. And then we bring in Sneasler, who doesn't need an item. Yeah. Alright, so this should be good. Alright, much appreciated again. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, alright? Miracle Seed, Shed Shell, no item, no item. Alright, so this should be good. Alright, let's go ahead and head on over. Pretty straightforward fights for the most part. So we just went down here, ate you, X fights over here. Alright, let's go ahead and save. Just triple check one more time. All the notes here. Yeah, this all looks good. Triple check my items. Purple Seed, Shed Shell, 142, no item. Alright, let's go ahead and do this here. Alright, Ninja Boy Riley. He leads a Life Orb for Ninja, which we're just gonna simply outspeed with Electrode and one-shot with a Miracle Seed boosted Energy Ball. And this takes on Greninja. This will always bring in Durant next. Perfect. And this Durant has a Focus Sash, so we need to break that. Right now it's always going to go for X Scissor, so we can go ahead and Volt Switch to swap out while also breaking the Focus Sash. And then we could bring in our Infernape on the incoming X Scissor. now, with the focus edge broken, we can just outspeed and one-shot with overheat. Alright. So, Durant goes down. This will always bring in Dugtrio next. Alright, and this thing does have Arena Trap, but my Infernape's holding a Shed Shell, which allows me to still swap out. This thing does have both Final Gambit and Memento. But it's not going to use that because it sees a fast KO with Earthquake. So I'm going to swap to my Golisopod to proc the Earthquake to then get my Sneasel in for free. So Golisopod, there's Earthquakes, Ground Gem boosted as well. So perfectly fine. Emergency exit procs, which also allows us to swap out, even with Arena Trap. And now we can just bring our Sneasler in. And our Hasty Sneasler here with max IV speed can outspeed this Dugtrio, crazily enough. And I could just one-shot with Close Combat. So Dugtrio goes down. This just leaves a Bisharp, which does have Sucker Punch with Black Glasses, but even at -1 defense, a Sucker Punch Maxwell crit will never KO my Sneasler, and I can just one-shot with Close Combat as well. There's the Sucker. Here's the Close Combat for the kill. There we go. Very nice. Alright, one more battle before... Alright, so got one more fight left before we can get our encounter. So let's go and head back here. Alright, and the last fight here is a double battle. A pretty interesting gimmick double battle with a Slacking and then 2 Weezings with Neutralizing Gas to neutralize its Truant ability to allow it to always attack. And then also an Archeops, which Neutralizing Gas will also neutralize the Defeatist ability it has. Yeah, normally this could be a pretty tricky fight as well, but with my box, I can actually kind of cheese this fight. Let me see here. Let me see. let's see here. Yeah, because Sneezer with a black belt can KO the Slacking with Fake Out into close combat. And it can also one-shot the Archeops. Yeah, neither of them have any priority. And then the Weezings also don't have priority. So they should just be able to one-shot, and then my Alakazam could just one-shot the two Weezings. So this seems pretty free, actually. The only thing I need to do to prevent Protect is to pre-damage my Alakazam to show KOs from both Weezings. So I would have to pre-damage Alakazam to 122 HP. But that's perfectly fine to do here, so let's go ahead and set this up. So we just need to lead these two. And then give Sneezer the black belt. Let's see, there we go. Black belt for Sneasler. Don't need an item for Alakazam. Again, I just need free damage to 122 HP. Cool. This would prevent the Weezings from going for Protect. Alright. Unless I'm mistaken, this all should be perfectly good to go. Let's see. No priority moves to worry about. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's see, black belts. Alright. Cinnamon Roll Esther. What's up, bro? Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that. This is a modded version of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun, which is a fan-made version of the game that makes all the fights extremely difficult and challenging. And I'm doing what's called a Nuzlocke, which just means if any of my Pokemon faint in battle, I can no longer use them. And if all my Pokemon faint in any battle, then I lose the run, and I would have to start from the beginning. So pretty challenging, and I actually have a pretty interesting fight coming up here, if you want to see an example of how complicated things can get. I have this double battle here. Let me just triple check everything. Alright, yeah. And then just check one more time. Black belt, 122 HP. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this here. Alright, so we have Cool Trainer Tammy and Bug Maniac Kale. So this is a pretty interesting double battle mechanic that's going on here. Basically, the Slaking, you know, notoriously does a ton of damage, but has the ability Truant, which makes it only able to attack every other turn. But on the other side, there's Weezings with the ability Neutralizing Gas, which neutralizes the abilities on the field. So that will remove the effect of Truant, allowing Slaking to always attack on every turn, dealing crazy damage. So what we want to do first is we want to get rid of the Weezings so that the neutralizing gas is no longer effective, as well as taking down that one trainer side first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Fake Outs to flinch the Slaking, as my Alakazam outspeeds and one-shots the first Weezing here. So this takes out the Weezing. Slaking won't be able to attack this turn. Alright, and this brings out the second Weezing, which also has neutralizing gas. But now, with that fake out damage, close combat with a Black Belt can outspeed and one-shot the Slaking. And the Psychic will also one-shot the Weezing. The Weezings do have Protect, so that's why my Alakazam is a little bit damaged. It's to make it so that the Weezings always see that they can KO, which out-prioritizes using Protect. So, we will now be able to KO both sides this turn. So Slaking goes down. And then Psychic takes out the normal Weezing. Alright, and this just leaves now an Archeops, which has a crazy high attack stat, holding a Rock Gem with Head Smash, wanting to do crazy damage. But my Sneasler, holding the black belts, even with neutral damage, can one-shot this outspeed and one-shot this Archeops with close combat. So we'll just KO and then I'll just swap to something with Alakazam. Not necessary, but I can do that here. Alright. Perfect. Alright, really good. So, very tricky fight normally, but our box is pretty good. So, now with those fights being done, I do have access to a new encounter here. Which does have some pretty good gets here. Let me see. Because this is technically Route 121, it should be. Is this Route 21? Yeah. So, I'll do those, but the first thing I'm going to do here, we get our last access to some citrus berries. So, in this game, all the berry trees are have a random amount that you could get. For citrus berries, it's from 12 to 36. And all the citrus berries I've gone so far have gone pretty low rolls, so this is my last chance to get a good amount. So we'll start with the lum berries first. 25, that's pretty good. 25 lums. 13, that's almost the lowest roll, unfortunate. Alright, but these ones are where we really need. Come on, we need at least higher than 20s this time. Alright, 23. 23, I'll take it. Alright, one more. Something higher, please. Hey, 31, let's go. That's a good roll. We needed that. We had some pretty bad citrus berry luck. Alright, and we do have our a new encounter. So I'm gonna end my stream by doing that. So let me prepare a team for encountering here. We do have the possibility of some pretty good stuff on for this route. So why don't we get Ampharos for Thunder Wave? Let's get Corviknight for taking damage. And let's bring Gyarados for the Intimidate. Alright. Let me see, how many balls do I have here? Oh yeah, we have plenty. Let me just give, let's see, Lepaberry for Corviknight for the Roosts. Alright, let's go ahead and head over there and see what our next encounter is. Route 121. We get our encounter here. So the things that we want to get here. Let's see. So for the grass encounters here, the most likely encounter is going to be Pidgeot. Which is it's not bad. It's pretty decent. I do get access to its Mega Evolution right away if I do catch it. I already have Alakazam, so that's a dupe. The ones that we really want here, though, are Weavile's the best one, followed by Medicham and Lopunny. Those would be the best encounters to get. Out of those, Weavile would be most preferred because I currently don't have a fast Ice-type attacker in my box, which Weavile is great for. I already have a good amount of fast fighting types, so Medicham and Lopunny aren't really as necessary, but Medicham could also be pretty good. You do get both of their Megas in this game. The worst encounters, though, would be Mienshao and then Kleavor as the worst one, 1%. I do have Magnet Pull on my Magneton, so I could use that for Caesar, but I looked up on the Discord, and it looks like unanimously that's not a good thing to do. Caesar's not worth Magnet Pulling for, so... yeah. So, Pidgeot, I'd be perfectly fine with if we get... last time, on my last attempt, I got a Gardevoir, which is alright. Gallade is also not that good either, so... yeah. I'd be perfectly fine with the Pidgeot if we just get that. But Weavile would be definitely insane. So... yeah, let's go ahead and see what we get here. Let me save. Alright, so deactivate. Deactivate our repellent. And let's see. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Mienshao. Ugh. Ah, it's one of the worst encounters here. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Well, yeah, because I already have Sneasler, so this encounter is basically worthless. I would have loved to have I would way much rather have Pidgeot over this guy. Yeah, well. Go for quick balls, I get. Ah. Couldn't even make it easier for me. Alright, let's see, let's go Ampharos and try to... Let's get a paralysis off here. Alright, let's Thunder Wave. Focus Blast. Nice. So let's go to Corviknight. Alright, let's see, I can't really do damage to this thing, so I just gotta go ahead and start throwing Ultra Balls. Yeah, let's speed this up a little bit here. Ultra Ball. Almost. Let's go Timer Balls now. Alright, let's Roost. Alright, there we go. Alright, Mienshao. I already had some pretty great encounters the past few that I've had already, so I was due for a bad one. Alright, let's see, what's a good nickname for this guy? Let's see. Let's see. Manchow equals Super Vegito? Yeah, I guess so. Unfortunately, it's not that good, so... yeah, I had possibilities for much better encounters, so... But... it is what it is. Let's see. I think a good... Let's see, would this fit? Flying... No, that's not gonna fit. Yeah, my nickname theme is artists and bands. I'm not really coming up with some good ones here. Let's go here. Luigi. The full name doesn't fit, but Rishi Sakamoto. I could just Rishi Sakamoto. Alright. Bit of an unfortunate encounter, but it is what it is. Let's at least go see what its stats look like. I think, from the amount of damage it was looking like, I think it's got pretty good attack IVs. So... let's see. Alright, me and Shao. Rash? Huh? It's actually pretty good. It's, 3 speed IV is pretty low, but 26 attack, 21 special attack for the Focus Blast. It's actually not bad. Unfortunately, catching it this late means it doesn't have fake out, so that's kind of a huge bummer there. But yeah, I would have to use a hard scale to reteach it fake out. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end there for today. next time I pick up, we'll continue on and do all of the fights on Route 121 leading up to Lily Cove. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who tuned in to watch. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. It's... Oh, yo, what? Christ Dan's, yo, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, I was about to end right now, actually. What's up, man? How's it going? Just chilling. Yeah, no, I appreciate you dropping. Unfortunately, it's... Fortunately, I'm at the end of my stream for today, but yeah, I'm doing it's a fan-made version of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun, which has modded the game to make it way more challenging. I just haven't really gone around to it. I'm kind of just streaming just casually, you know. You know, I'm not super invested into it. Yeah, sure. I got a Discord. You can add me. Let me see. I'll post my... Okay, here's my username if you want to add me. Alright, cool. Appreciate you dropping in. But I'm gonna go ahead and end off. I do have to get ready for work, so yeah. Hope maybe we'll tune back in another time. But yeah, appreciate everyone who's watched. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and I'll see everyone in my next stream.